Take any support you need underneath your sit bones so that you can feel taller and supported. So maybe you're not even sitting on something. Maybe you're taking your shins parallel to the floor and you're sitting like this. Yeah, and you can still get the same effect of drawing the low belly up and in, taking the shoulder blades down the back body. Check to see where your shoulder heads are. If they are front of your body, draw them back. And you can do it by circling them up, back, and down, or simply just shift that back. So that's going to involve all these muscles back here, which is what we want. Shut down your eyes. Notice your breath. Make your exhale just a little bit longer than your inhale. You can count, you can visualize, you can use a mantra. Whatever it is that you need to bring a point of focus to your mind, go ahead and do that. Commit to that for these next 3 minutes, whatever it is. Oh my goodness. She doesn't want out all day and now she wants out. You're being ridiculous. It's pouring out there. Okay, go. 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 If your mind wanders off, or if you get distracted, as I just did, then come back to it. Set yourself up again. Anchor down through your base. Root down through your base so you can get a little bit taller. Feel the length in the spine. And notice. Notice what you're thinking. Notice the quality of your breath. Notice your body, what you're feeling. And just notice it. Let it pass. Try not to dwell on it or fixate on it. It's like a car passing you coming down the street. You see it approaching. You see your thought or your emotion approaching. Watch it go by. Focus instead on the breath. Five more nice quality rounds of breath here, wherever you are, whatever seat you happen to have. So if you've lost your train of thought, here's your chance. 5 nice, beautiful, great, committed breaths. And then you can draw your shoulder heads up towards your ears. Circle them down and around and back. Make that one breath. Do that a few times. And then change in the opposite direction. Draw them forward, up, forward, and down, and then plug them back in. And then you might get the elbows involved and maybe the neck. Inhale, reach the arms up. Look up, interlace your hands. Press the palms towards the ceiling. See if you can take the pinky blade side of the hand back. Yeah, and then release the hands. Have them come to behind the head. So you're not going to pull on the neck. You can place your fingers there. Try to pull the elbows back. Support your head if you're going to do anything. So let the head rest in your palms or in your fingers. If that's not comfortable, bring the hands onto the shoulders or cross them over top. Breathe into this, pulling the shoulders back, opening the chest. Don't dump into the low back. Keep the sides of the waist long. And then take the hands to the ears and just draw the elbows towards each other. Curl in, tuck the chin into the chest, and then open. And draw everything in. Move a few times like this. One more. Open up. Press up through the palms. Stop sign hands. Yeah. And then notice where your shoulders are. If you're using your neck muscles to hold your shoulders, recruit the muscles in the upper back. So pull the shoulder blades down. Press up through the heels of the hands. Even if they drop a little bit, still keep recruiting, and then take the pinky blade side of the hand back. As far back as it'll go. And then palms will face each other, come together. Tuck the chin into the chest, curl through the spine. Sit up tall, take a little stretch in the forearm. Yeah, so just other hand helps out, and then the other side. Bring the right hand to the floor, reach up and over with the left arm. Stay rooted through the left sit bone, reach the left arm to the right. And then open the palm like you're pushing the wall away on the right side. Keep that open as you open towards the ceiling. You can look. Take your gaze to the left. Then bring it to the right. Look up. Dip your chin and your nose towards your shoulder. Keep pressing up through the left palm. And then relax. Let that arm come down. Circle up the shoulders once or twice, one direction, maybe the other direction. Left fingertips to the floor, reach up and over. So the palm faces up, dragging them across the ceiling. Then you're going to reach as far as you can to the left. And then you're going to push the palm away like you're pushing against a wall. Keep that as you open all the way up. You can take your gaze with you. Keep the stop sign hand. Feel every inch of your shoulder as you lower down so that you're constantly recruiting those upper back muscles. Press up through the palm. We're looking to the right hand here, and then we're going to look away to the left. Keep the left shoulder soft. Take your gaze up slightly. Maybe take it down. And then relax that. Soften in any way that you want. If you're sitting cross-legged, you might change the crossing of your legs just to stay even, right? And then interlace your fingers behind your low back. Draw the knuckles down towards the floor and maybe away. Maybe the arms come away. Open the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades. So don't let the neck drop. Keep the neck long and hinge at the top of the neck, right at the top of that cervical spine. If you can bring your spine long and forward, give that a go as far as it'll go. Maybe the arms come away from the body. And then release the arms. Bring them onto the floor or onto your knees if you're seated cross-legged. And then tuck the chin into the chest. Stack the vertebrae. Come all the way up. And then one more time. Take the opposite interlace. Draw the knuckles down and away. Open the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Keep the neck long. Hinge at the waist. Keep your crown of your head coming away from your knuckles. Try to stay rooted in your sit bone so you're not lifting up off your base, and then soften everything down. Tent your fingers out in front. You can be seated or on your knees, doesn't matter. Push the middle of the spine towards the ceiling. Keep the neck long. Feel the strength in the fingers. And then use your hands to walk yourself up. Sit nice and tall. Again, either root your hands onto your thighs or onto your knees and make some circles of your torso around your base. And you might switch it up here. Feel every movement as you go through this. Take any support that you might need. And then opposite direction. And then sit up nice and tall. Let's come off our block. We're going to come into a tabletop position. So get yourself set up as you know how. Arms outer shoulder width apart, knees hip width apart. Tuck your toes under. Move through some cat-cow, practice the breathing a little bit more. And then turn your hands in to face each other so that your thumbs are closer towards you. Press into your palms so that you feel your shoulders. So it's just these little scapula push-ups. It's very subtle. You're feeling your shoulder move through the joint. And it might be, for someone like me, I've got some shoulder issues. One side feels a little bit like it's tight. The other side feels like it doesn't want to move at all. So be very gentle. Try not to use your shoulders to lift up. You're just letting them drop. So your heart drops down and then you press into your palms. Breathe here. And then walk your hands forward. We're going to keep the toes tucked. Send the hips towards the heels. Reach the palms long, long, long. The forehead can come down. Curl forward. Make a big wave till your shoulders come just a little bit past the wrists. Hinge slightly back so that you feel your elbows glued to the rib cage. Press into the heels of your hands. Send your hips back. Feel the length in the arms. So this is really slow. And then curl it all forward. Hinge at the elbows, press yourself back. So just try and recruit the arms, the upper and middle back. One more like this. And it might just be a little bit. You notice I'm not coming down very much, but then I'm really tucking my tailbone under and I'm pressing into the heels of my hands. Untuck the toes, take the knees wide, let the forehead come down, let the chest come down. Circle out the wrists. Or give them a rub or whatever it is that you might need for a breath or two. And then come back into tabletop. Come back and then push up into a downward facing dog. Pedal up through the feet here. Let your head drop. Press into your hands, pedal up through the feet. Breathe. Feel the length in the backs of the legs. And then float forward to plank, top of a push-up. Shoulders will be over top of the wrists. Feel the length through the crown of the head and the heels stacked over the toe mounts. You can stay here or just drop the knees down. The action through the body is the same. One more breath. And then lower yourself down. If your knees are on the floor, then you can really practice squeezing those elbows into the rib cage. Let the chest come down, let the legs slide out, untuck the toes. Fingertips come wide, strange cobra, inhale. Feel the legs charge. That means your knees will lift slightly. Come all the way down. Two more with your own breath. Last one here. Bring the hands under the shoulders, tuck your toes, press yourself back into that toes tucked under child's pose. So it's a little bit more active. Stretch through the palms once again. You can even lift the fingers up coming onto the heels of the hands. You might feel it through the palms, through the forearms a little bit more this way, or keep your palms on the floor. And then use your fingertips. Walk yourself up. You're going to be sitting on your heels with your toes tucked under. So bring the knees together, the toe mounts together, the heels together. Zip up the inner lines of the legs. Stretch through the feet. If you need support between the sit bones or sometimes under the knee, if the knee doesn't want to bend, then have a little towel there. Tuck that in there. I should have that. Shoulders over the hips. Breathe here. Interlace the fingers. Press the palms away. Take the arms up overhead. Send the pinky blade side of the hand back. Pull the chest through the shoulders. You can bend your elbows and then release the hands behind the head. So notice if you're dumping into the back. Tuck this under. So tuck your tailbone under. Open the chest. And then same thing we did here. Elbows come together. Open. breathe through this. Notice how this feels in the feet. One more breath if you can. Let the hands come to the floor. Bring them right down in front of your knees and then press your hips towards the ceiling. You're going to walk your hands back, coming into a forward fold. So hips over top of the ankles. Pull your heels down and back. Let the head go. If your fingers are dangling, you know to take something underneath your hands here. It can be a block. It can be your shins. It can be your thighs. Whatever you need. Take a halfway lift. So you're bringing the length into the spine, into the legs, and you're taking an inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Let the head go. Take opposite elbows. Your feet are still together, so it might feel a little bit wobbly. Treat it as a little bit of a balance. Take that halfway lift, using the support of the hands. Notice if your heels lift up, pull them down and back. Keep the length in the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Interlace the fingers behind your low back. Bend your knees a lot. Let your head go. Take the arms up overhead for a shoulder stretch, any amount. And then release those. Sit your hips down and back, chair pose. Plug the shoulder blades in. Keep your spine long, keep the neck long, keep squeezing the legs together. Breathe here. Press into the feet, come all the way up to standing. Open the arms. And here you are in Tadasana. That's it. Inhale, reach the arms up. Take the right wrist with the left hand. Get really long. We're going to lean. Squeeze the thighs in towards each other. Shift the weight into the left leg. Engage the toes on the right foot. And then step that foot behind. Take a nice side stretch here through the psoas, through the IT band. Okay, release the arms. Take your knee up into your chest. Give it a squeeze. Find a drishti, a focal point. Yep. That's it. And then bring the foot to the floor. Take a breath. Stand. Inhale. And let all the air out. Exhale. Yeah, bring your feet together. I see some people with feet apart. I can see daylight. Bring the legs together. Inhale, reach the arms up. Take the left wrist with the right hand, lean. Take the weight into the right foot. Engage the toes on the left. Yeah, take this nice side balance first. It's okay if you wobble, and then step it behind. Take a side body stretch here. You can look past the bicep if you want a little bit more. Release the arms. Find that drishti. Engage the toes on your left leg. Pull the knee into the chest. Pause here. Good. Bring the foot to the floor. Inhale, reach the arms up. Pull the hands down through heart center. Bend your knees. Fold over the legs. Squeeze the thighs together, heels together. Sit your hips down and back. Chair pose. Plug the shoulder blades in. Second time. Send the weight a little bit more into the hips, but squeeze the thighs more. Exhale, forward fold. So I don't know if you're at the back of your mat or at the top of your mat, but try to be at the back of your mat so you can lift your heels up and slowly lower your hips to the heels so that the sole of your foot is perpendicular to the floor, building a little more strength in the feet. You can take this as a balance as well. Good. Now, if you really want to challenge, take one leg up. Yes. Why not? See how it goes. Yeah, if you fall, who cares? Engage the toes on the foot that you extend. Bring the fingers to the floor. Bring that foot back under. Shoot the duck, right? We used to do this in figure skating. And then take the other leg out. And then bring it back. My knee doesn't work, so I'm not going to do that more than that. Listen to your body. Bring the hands to the floor. Walk yourself all the way back to a downward facing dog. Take the feet hip width apart. Take a breath here. Nice full inhale and full exhale. Nice inhale. Take your right leg up and back. Open the hips. So turn the right toes out. Pull the left heel towards the floor. Keep the arms even. Then let the heel drop. The knee will bend and go towards the ceiling. You can look underneath your right armpit. Check to see that your arms are straight. And then glide your shoulders over your wrists. So level out the pelvis, bring everything forward. And then take that right leg out to the left. Come to the outer blade of your right foot. Bring your right hand to the middle of the chest. Come to the inner blade of your left foot, or the whole foot. And then you can open up to this variation of plank using the strength of both legs. If that doesn't work for you, bring your hips to the floor, bring the forearm down. You can do it this way, okay? So again, whatever you need, bring that left hand back, bring that right knee into the chest, lift it forward, step the foot forward, lower the back knee down. Take the left hand wide, open to the right. Pick up the back knee if you want. Breathe here. And then bring your right hand to the inside of the right foot. Heel toe this right leg wide. Turn the toes out. Your knee can be up or down. I'm going to leave that up to you. And then square your hands back up underneath your shoulders. So you might have blocks here. So you're going to draw the heart forward, press into the foot. Make sure that the knee isn't too far past the ankle. Turn the toes out to accommodate the knee. And come into a lizard position that feels good. So you can stay upright, you can start to pull the heart forward and come onto the forearms, high Bella, whatever you want. Option to pick up the back knee, but try to keep your chest coming forward and your spine long. So you're not here. If you take a look at your screen, we don't want this. So if you feel like you're starting to collapse, just bring more height to the blocks and keep your spine long. And maybe you're just here. Yeah, and that's okay. That's all good. One more breath. Okay, we're going to take the block away. Bring the left hand to the floor. Untuck your toe if you had it tucked, and then come onto this left hip so that you're seated like this with your right leg crossing over the left. Yeah, that's it. Good. And then press into this hand. Use your fingertips if you need. Lift the hips up. So now you've got a supported supported plank. Your right arm's going to come up and over. Some of you might take a full plank and bring both feet together, stacking the feet and open. So you've got some options here, yes. Good, bring the right hand down, come down onto that hip and turn right onto your bum. Sit up nice and tall. Lift the chest, flex your feet, zip up the inner lines of the legs. So again, we're going to keep the spine long. You can bend your knees. You're just going to walk your fingertips forward, pulling your heart towards your toes. Any amount. Keep the neck long, keep the spine long. Breathe. You might need support underneath the knees. That's totally fine. Try to lay your chest on your thighs. If you feel like this is really uncomfortable, take something underneath your sit bones just to give your hips a little bit of a lift and tilt. And then walk yourself back. Swing both legs over to the right and come into a 90-90. So left leg is going to come forward. Right leg is back. Square yourself to your front leg. Your shoulders will be over top of the hips. One hand is in between the legs, one hand is on the outer left hip. Good. And then reach as far as you want with the right arm to the left. Feel that left glute let go as much as possible. Keep both toes engaged. Breathe here. walk your hands back. See if you can twist just a little bit to the left. Bringing your shoulders back over your hips as much as possible. It might not be, you might need support for the knees, for the sit bones, whatever it is, but give it a go. Just a twist, peek over that left shoulder if you can. Bring yourself back onto the seat and then windshield wiper the legs. Yeah, good. That's it. All right, swing your legs back. Come into a downward facing dog. Or take a cat-cow if you need a breath or two, just to floss that out. Pedal up through the feet. So everything here is possible to modify, right? You can come onto forearms, you can use cushions, blocks, whatever you need. So please, I can't see you, so please take what you need. Let's all meet in downward facing dog and take your time moving through this. Give yourself a chance to set up the base and take the basic shape of the pose and then see where it goes. See what the possibilities are for you. Take your left leg up and back on your inhale. Open the left hip, left toes, press into your hands more, pull the right heel more. Keep the legs straight, give it a breath here. Then bend the knee, let the left knee come to the ceiling. Check to see that your arms are still straight. And then level up the pelvis. Pull that left knee in towards the chest. Slide it out to the right. So outer blade of your left foot, inner blade of your right foot. Bring your left hand to the middle of the chest. You can bring your forearm down, open. Shoulder should be over the wrist for maximum support. Bring the hand back down. Use your both hands, lift that hip up. You're strong enough to do it. And then step the foot forward. You can bring the knee down. Your right hand's gonna go right. You're gonna open to the left. Make sure that left hip stays down. Try not to lift it up. Breathe here. How are we doing? Good job. And then bring your left hand on the inside of your left leg. Heel toe this foot wide. Bring your knee down if you need, or take your time. You can always bring the knee down to get set up. Maybe you're bringing blocks, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna bring my blocks, my knee's gonna come down, and then I'm gonna pick the knee up. And remember, we're pulling the heart forward, keeping the spine and the neck long. So take whatever height of the blocks you need so that you're not curling and collapsing. Even if you come down on your forearms, try to make a nice long line from the back of your head all the way down your back body. Breathe. Feel the strength in your legs, in the hips. Okay, slowly, if your knee is lifted, you're gonna lower it down. Let me just change my angle here. Bring the knee down, bring your right hand down. Use your left hand for support. Come to the outer blade of your right leg. Your left foot's crossed over top. Yes. Now you can bring the forearm down. Okay, if it doesn't feel good to press into the hand, it can be here. And maybe you're just staying here. This is an option too, and lifting the hips. If you're coming onto the hand, make sure the shoulder shifts over the wrist. Lift the hips, use the strength of your legs, or stack both feet and take a side plank. Breathe, it's all good wherever you are, whatever you've chosen, breathe into that. Good, bring the hand down, lower yourself down. Slide your legs over to the left and your hips are on the right. You're seated, good. Okay, and you're gonna take your right leg forward, 90-90 on this side. Left leg back. Looks good, everybody. Everybody following along okay? I think it's, yeah, everybody looks great. Good, okay, here we go. Left hand goes to the right. Reach as far as you want. Feel as much as you want to feel in that outer right hip or glute. If you can tent the fingers, you can use support for the hand. You can bring your head all the way to the floor. Wherever you are, breathe. Feel it in the side ribs on the left side. And then use your fingers, bring yourself to upright. Take a nice little twist. Looking over the right shoulder if you can. Again, all your blocks and cushions are good. All right, bring your legs back. Turn, extend the legs. Sit tall. So what I mean by if you feel like you're here and collapsing, just pop your sit bones up onto a little bit of support. Not your whole bum, just the sit bones, so that you feel like your pelvis can tilt forward. You can still bend your knees, okay, to accommodate your low back and your hamstrings, but you can keep the spine long. Then your fingertips come to the floor, and you're gonna walk them forward, like you're pulling your chest towards your big toes. Breathe. If you want a little extra, you can point, flex, crunch the feet here. Yes. And then use your fingertips. Walk yourself to upright. Sit tall. Let's bend the knees. Let me shift here. Bend the knees, take them wide. Take your arms to the insides of the legs. Press into the palms. You can keep your hips on something, or you can come into a yogi squat if you want to lift yourself up. Yeah. Breathe here. Open the chest as much as you can. Take as much height under your sit bones as you need. So if that's stacking the blocks, 2, 3, go for it. There you go. That's just as valid right there. Open the chest. Hands are going to come to the floor. You're going to heel toe your feet to parallel and then come into a wide-legged forward fold. Not too wide, not a straddle, but wider than what we would normally do, hip width. Take your left hand to the right shin or thigh. Take your right fingertips in front of your right foot and then just twist a little bit more to the right. Push into the left foot a little bit more, straighten through the right leg a little bit more. Breathe here. So it's almost like you're shifting a tiny bit to the right. Release that. Bring your palms back underneath the shoulders. Bend your knees. Soften. Let the head go. Circle out the wrists maybe. And then straighten through the legs. Allow your right hand to come over to the left calf. Your left fingertips are going to be in front of that left foot. You're shifting slightly to the left, pushing a little bit more into the right foot, and extending a little bit more through the left. Look underneath the left armpit maybe. And then release that. Bend your knees, let the head go. Heel toe your feet together. And sit your hips down and back, chair pose. Squeeze the thighs. Plug the shoulder blades in. Sweep your right arm down and back. Reach. Pause here. Bring that right arm forward. Sit a little bit deeper. Plug the shoulder blades in before you sweep the left arm back. Pause here. Reach to the fingers. Sweep that arm forward. Press into your feet. Come all the way up to standing. Yes, and open the arms. Let them come down. You're in Tadasana. Let me shift back so you can see me. That's it. Circle out the shoulders. Inhale, reach the arms up. Take your right wrist with the left hand. We're leaning to the left. Shift the weight into your right leg. Engage the toes on the left. Banana balance. It. And then release the arms. Pull the knee up into the chest. Take any form of tree pose that you wish. Use any support that you might need. Find that drishti. Breathe, yeah. Bring length into the sides of your neck as well as your waist. Do something different with your arms. Try something different that you haven't tried before. Maybe taking the hands to the back of the head like we've been doing. Opening the chest. And then bring the foot down, bring your hands down. If you do what you've always done, you'll get the same result. So try something different. Circle up the shoulders. Inhale, reach the arms up. Take your left wrist with the right hand. We're going to lean to the right. Squeeze the thighs in towards each other. Then shift the weight into the left leg. Engage the toes on the right foot. Banana balance. Standing leg has just as much to do with it as the extended leg. One more breath here. Carefully release the arms. Bring the knee up into the chest. Give it a squeeze. And then find your Vrikshasana on this side, tree pose. So get your base set up. Feel your standing leg pressing into the sole of your foot and vice versa, regardless of how high your foot is on the standing leg. Find your drishti. Take length into the sides of the waist, into the neck, and then try something different with your arms. Keep breathing. Yep. Balance is one of those things. You know what I'm going to say. If you don't use it, you lose it. And then release the hands. Bring the foot to the floor. Tadasana. Take a breath. Full inhale here. And a full exhale. Good job. Inhale, reach the arms up. Pull the hands down through heart center. Bend your knees. Fold over the legs. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step the right leg back. Lower the knee down. And then bring your blocks to the foot. Scooch the toes forward. Press into the fingertips. Lift the chest. Nice deep lunge. Option to pick up the back knee. Yeah. Take as much length into the spine as you can. Feel the support of your standing leg. So maybe you're going to take your fingertips off just for a second. Bring the hands back to the floor. Lower the knee if you had it raised. Ardha Hanuman, half split. So pull the sole of the foot off the floor. Shift your hips back. Keep the spine long. You see the theme here today. Spine stays long. Neck stays long. See if you can spread your toes here. Give them a wiggle. And then windshield wiper through the foot. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Okay, second time, you're going to come forward into this lunge. You're going to take your hands off the blocks and bring them onto the thigh. So the shoulders stay over the hips. Okay? Not here. Nice and upright. And then we're going to step the left foot to the left, forearm comes up, nice side body stretch. Take the arm down, step it forward, reach both arms up. Shift your weight back, step the leg to the side, forearm comes on, reach up and over. Yeah. So move through this at least one more time. Feel the strength of your legs, your core doesn't collapse, right? One more if you've got it. And then bring the fingertips to the floor. Step onto that left foot, standing L. Right toes point straight down. Feel the strength in both legs. Cross your right foot behind the left. Pinky toes come together. Take something under your hands if they don't reach the floor, but let the head go. And then shift your weight forward so that your hips are over top of the ankles. Breathe here. Feel both feet on the floor, so do whatever you need to do to make sure that both soles of both feet are there. Take a halfway lift. Lengthen to the legs. Keep shifting that weight so that your hips are over top of your ankles, but your heels are pulling down and back. Let it all go. Soften. Halfway lift. And soften. Bend your knees. Bring your right toes to the back of the left heel. Bring your hands to your waist and come up to standing. Again, balance. Strength of both feet. Feel that. Come into a nice tall stance and then step the feet together. Good job. Inhale, reach the arms up. Look up. Pull your thumbs down. Bend the knees, fold over the legs. Let it all go. Halfway lift. Again, let the knees soften. Fingertips are going to come to the floor. You're going to step your left leg back. Come into this lunge position. Yeah, so blocks on the floor if you need support under the knee. Scooch the toes forward. Press into the fingertips. Lift the chest. Glide forward. Yeah, nice job. Breathe here. You can always pick up the back knee if you want that extra. Yeah. Lower the knee, Ardha Hanuman. Pull the sole of the foot off the floor. Keep the spine long. I like to keep my arms long. It reminds me. If I bring my hands here, I tend to collapse my chest. So if I keep my arms long and send my sit bones back, I stay a little longer in the spine. You try that out for yourself. See if it works. Windshield wiper through the foot. Once or twice, wiggle the toes, spread them. Notice what you might be feeling here, what sensations. And then bring the foot to the floor. Set your blocks aside, bring your hands onto the thigh, just for a starting position. So again, I just want to emphasize we're not dumping, right? This is all intact, and the hand is here, okay? Different. You can always come into a deeper lunge by bringing the foot forward, that's totally fine, but we're not dumping like I often see. This is really engaged. Okay, nice work. Okay, we're gonna step the leg out to the side, turn the toes out, forearm comes up. The left arm can come up and over. And then you can sweep the arms down, forward, and up. Press into that foot. So use the strength of that right leg. Step it to the side. Move through this with your own breath at your own pace. Nice. One more if you have it. Here we go. Bring the hands forward. Reach. They're going to come to the floor. Pick up your back knee. Step onto that right leg. Come into that standing L. So there's strength in both legs. Try to keep your pelvis level. Let the head drop. Breathe here. And then cross your left foot behind the right. Your pinky toes are going to come together to touch. Let the head go here. So if you're looking at your feet, you're holding your neck. You should kind of be looking at your knees or your thighs or your belly button. Support under the hands, always a good idea. Shift the weight forward. Feel like the soles of your feet are stretching, especially the back foot. And then take a halfway lift here. Let the head go. Take a little more length into the back of the legs, halfway lift. And let everything go. Fingers can come to the floor or use your block. Your left toes are going to scooch up to the heel of your right foot. Feel both feet on the floor. Sometimes we put all the weight into that front leg. It makes the balance more difficult. So notice where your weight is distributed. Bring your hands to your waist. Press into the feet. Come all the way up to standing. That's it. Use that drishti. Feel the strength of your feet. So not just your legs. Squeeze the thighs together, but push down into the feet as well. One more breath. And then step. And breathe. Circle out the shoulders. Nice work, everybody. Inhale, reach the arms up. Last time, pull the hands down through heart center. Fold over the legs. Take a halfway lift. Exhale forward, fold, bend your knees, step your right leg back, step your left leg back, downward facing dog. And take a full inhale here. And a full exhale. Float forward to plank, top of a push-up. Shoulders will be over the wrists, long through the crown of the head. Take one more breath here. Lower the knees or not, it's up to you, but squeeze the elbows into the rib cage. Lower down in chaturanga, one long line. Slide the legs out, untuck the toes, and take a baby cobra here. So hug the elbows into the rib cage, charge the legs, just peel the heart up off the floor. Exhale, lower yourself down. Reach one arm long, use your other fingertips for support. Roll over onto the back body. Here you are on your back. We're gonna set up for bridge. I'm gonna suggest taking a block between the thighs on the middle length, between your groin and your knees. Your palms will come to the floor. Make sure you're pressing into your feet, your palms, and the back of your head. Look towards the ceiling, keep that, and come into a nice bridge pose here. If you want to tuck your shoulder blades underneath and interlace your fingers, go ahead and do that. Press into the feet a little bit more. Press into the back of the head a little bit more, into the backs of the arms. You can lift the heels up slightly and slowly lower yourself down. Upper back, middle back, low back. Remove the block. Let the knees come together to touch. Take the block in your palms and reach it up to the floor overhead. Keep the arms extended. Breathe here. And then again, set yourself up for bridge. So knees come apart. Take the block between your thighs. I want you to feel the action from the insides of the feet all the way up to the inner thighs. So palms come to the floor. You should be able to tickle your heel with your longest finger, but if it doesn't work for your knees, then you're going to let them come further away from the torso. Okay? Do not look sideways. Keep looking towards the ceiling. Press into your feet. Peel the hips up off the floor. Chest comes towards the chin comes away from the chest. Notice the block between your legs. So see if you can activate those inner thighs just a little bit more. Breathe. Your legs are strong. Press into the feet more. Full, slow, deep inhales. Full, slow, deep exhales. One more breath here. You can lift the heels slightly and then peel the back down. Upper back, middle back. Push the low belly into the spine. Remove the block. Let the soles of the feet come together. Actually, again, you can take the block up overhead if you want. Let the knees open. Push into the outer blades of your feet. See if you can flatten out your back. So that'll tuck your chin into your chest as well. The back of your neck's going to get a little bit flatter to the floor also. And then set your feet up. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Tuck the chin into your chest. Take your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. And then reach your arms long. And we're just going to pulse here. If you want to use your block, actually not a bad idea, you can do that. Reach, reach. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the block, lower your head and the shoulders. Take a little hip opener here. You can do a figure 4. Flex both feet. And then release that foot to the floor. Interlace your fingers behind your right thigh. Press that right sole of the foot towards the ceiling. Circle out the ankle. One direction, The other direction. That's it. Walk the hands up the back of the calf. Tuck the chin into the chest if you want. Bend the knee a little bit more, so let it soften. I wouldn't say bend, I'm going to say soften, otherwise everybody's knee is going to be super bent. Soften the knee, let it come closer to your nose. Like you want to lay your thigh flat onto your chest. And then press out through the sole of the foot a little bit more and then point the toe. Release the calf, lower the head and the shoulders. Draw the right knee into the chest. Extend the left leg long. Let the right knee open to the right. Take a half happy baby. You can hang on behind your thigh or the inside of your foot. Anchor through the left side of your body. And then let the right leg come long. Let your hands rest on your belly. Take a breath here. Nice full inhale. Full exhale. You can circle out the wrists or the ankles or gently roll the neck from side to side. Bend your knees. We're going to draw the left knee into the chest and then bring that ankle over the thigh. Take the opposite interlace of your hands behind your head. If your shoulders don't allow this, you're going to bring them onto your chest. Breathe here. Tuck the chin into the chest. Your right elbow is going to come outside the left thigh. Pause here. Try and pull that left thigh away as well so you feel the opening in the hip. Sorry, I should have told you to have your block on this side. Pick it up. We're going to reach it and pulse. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the block. Take any variation of figure 4 that feels like a nice hip opener for you. Flex your feet a lot to protect your knees. You can have the head and the shoulders on the floor for this if you wish. You can have your right foot on the floor and just slide that left palm into the hip crease. Maybe that's enough. And then lower the right foot to the floor. Interlace your fingers behind your left thigh. Press that foot to the ceiling. Take a few circles of the ankle first. That's it. And then walk the hands up the back of the calf. Again, let the knees soften so that the thigh can come to the chest. And knee to the nose, not nose to the knee. You don't want to lift up too much through the upper body. You can even have your head on the floor and still try and pull that thigh flat onto the chest. And then take some activation into the foot. So you've got a nice contraction there, eccentric contraction through the back of that leg. And then release that. Allow the left knee to come into the chest and go wide. Take a half happy baby. Anchor through the right side of the body. So hand on the hip as a reminder if you feel like you're lifting up. Back off a little bit on how far you're taking that left leg to the left. Breathe. And then allow that left leg to come long. Release the foot. Take the other leg long as well. Take a breath here. And then any twist you wish. Bend your knees. You can plant your palms and your feet on the floor. Shift your hips to one side. Or you can draw them into your chest and let yourself roll to one side. Take a nice release through the low back, through the thoracic spine, across the shoulders and the chest. Keep your neck happy. Make it as relaxing as you need. Maybe it means support between the thighs. Soften. And breathe. Start to slow down the breath. bring yourself back to center. And then take your twist to the other side. Notice where you might be feeling a little tight. Let go a little bit more there. Full, slow, deep inhales. And nice, easy, full exhales. Breath on this side. Slowly make your way back onto your back body. Maybe take a happy baby. Knees come into the chest, wide to the armpits, keeping your back flat. You can rock back and forth here. Or if there's any other pose that you are craving in your body. Before we come into final resting pose, then take that. When you're ready to come into Shavasana, you can dim your lights, you can take an extra layer of clothing or a blanket, support under the head or the knees, whatever you need. We're trying to melt into the floor here. So release your feet and your toes, your ankles, your legs are going to come long, your arms are going to come away from the body. Let everything be as heavy as possible, your hips, your thighs, your back ribs, your head, your arms, and then release your toes, your fingers, your wrists, the crooks of your elbows, the backs of your knees. Shut down your eyes. Don't worry about controlling the breath. Let it do whatever it likes. Relax all the muscles in your chest, your belly, and your face, your jaw, your cheeks, your eyelids, your forehead. Take as much stillness here as you can. The work is done. Shavasana. Stillness for as long as you wish. Active stillness can be difficult, and by active stillness I mean you're not fidgeting. You're just focusing on each part of the body and letting go a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. The benefits are huge for the nervous system. When you're ready to come out, you're going to do so mindfully, slowly, gently. Waking up the fingers and the toes first. ankles, the wrists, maybe the head. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Side out the mouth. Maybe one more like that. Big inhale. Maybe take a stretch or whatever feels good in the body here. Inhale. Let it all out on the exhale. Slowly, when you're ready, roll to your right side. Tuck your knees up into your chest. Let your head rest on your arm. And then using your arms for support, bring yourself back to a seated position with something underneath your hips. And just for another moment, bring some awareness to your core and your posture. Sit up tall, open up the collarbones, let your hands rest, shut down your eyes. Notice how you feel in your body. Notice your breath, maybe your thoughts. And then bring your hands to heart center. Bow your head to your heart. Say nice things to yourself. Give yourself credit for doing this work. It is so beneficial for you. So good job, everyone. Thank you for joining me. It's always a pleasure. Wishing you well. Stay well, everyone, please. Namaste, namaskar. If you have any questions, I'm happy to chat with you now, or you can always email me. So nice work, everybody.